When people look at our jewelry and see how much a Shane Company diamond sparkles, they ask me how we're able to offer such great prices. I'm Rorden Shane, fourth-generation jeweler. I tell them it started
Better Buzz Bob.
They send a man in motion across the formation. Wolf, the pistol snap. He is going to keep it on an RPO. A lot of room for Wolf across midfield in a foot race. 40, 35, lowers the shoulder. He lost the football at the end, but they're going to rule him down just shy of the 30-yard line in Aquinas territory to the 31.
And now you're starting to see the energy come back here on the Blue Valley side. You're starting to see Wolf with some confidence. Great blocking up front from Blue Valley. That really had a huge hole from Jake Wolf, for Jake Wolf, and first time into Aquinas territory tonight for Blue Valley.
This Tiger team, or this Tiger sideline here, made some noise. This crowd finally something to cheer about from the 31. 10:50 to go, second quarter. Wolf, high snap. He's going to give it straight up the middle. Jan's nowhere to go. Maybe picked up a yard straight up the middle. Chase Jan's a junior, 6'1", 190. He spies Grayson Holbert, 6'1", 185-pound tailback. James has got a bulk of the carries, though, so far in this game. Far and away the best drive for Blue Valley tonight. And again, the first quarter about as bad as you could have rid up for Blue Valley. But here to start the second quarter, they force a punt. And now the offense on the move in Aquinas territory at the 29-yard line. Wolf checks the near sideline for the play call. Chase Jans remains the tailback in the backfield behind the 6'2 quarterback Jake Wolf, only a junior. But again, on a lot of Division I radars, the offers haven't started coming yet. He's in that prove-it mode. He's going to look left. He's going to throw a hitch route left side, nearly intercepted, and it's going to be 3rd and 9. That time it was Terrence Collins making a break on the ball.
Yeah, right now it looks like Wolf's passes haven't been the most accurate passes, but also the separation from the receivers for Blue Valley just haven't been there. The corners and safeties for Aquinas have been all over the receivers. Just no separation for these receivers from Blue Valley.
3rd and 9. This is a big 3rd down play for Blue Valley. I think at the very least you need to pick up 4 or 5 and make it a manageable 4th down for your offense. Wolf checks the sideline for the play call. 3 right, 1 left. The man to the left side is Tate Gillen. He's going to roll right on the snap, pick up a block, step up in the pocket, and he's going to step up into a sack.
They tried to move the pocket over to the far side, and when they did that, there was 3 white shirts just waiting for Wolf. There was not much Wolf could have done there.
Peyton Reeves was waiting on him, and he fell right into the arms of Reeves. Sal Civiai also in on the stop, just a freshman. Boy, keep an eye out. 6 foot, 210 at defensive end is this kid. He's going to be a monster. 4th and 13. Wolf, they're going to go for it. Wolf stepping up in the pocket and is going to step up and get dropped again, this time at the line of scrimmage. And on 4th down, Blue Valley comes up short. They were trying to set up a deep shot, but again, the pressure from Aquinas, too much.
Yeah, Wolf took 1, maybe 2 steps, and then the pocket already collapsed, and there was just really nothing Wolf could do. If he tried to throw it, it was probably going to be an errant throw. So Wolf just kind of took the sack, and St. Thomas Aquinas is going to have decent field position to start this possession.
And again, the pressure falls onto this Tigers defense. Aquinas takes over from their own 34-yard line, 9:14 to go till halftime, up 28-0 over Blue Valley. Anderson climbs in under center, 2 receivers. He's going to option pitch to the right side. Tank Young trying to reverse field. He's well deep at the backfield. Now he's across the 30-yard line, back to the line of scrimmage, and he's ridden down across the 35. He picks up 2, but he was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage as he reversed field completely on that play.
So he completely reversed field, and like you said, went a good 10 yards, possibly maybe even 12, and was able to get a gain of about 2. So you can kind of see the speed from Tank Young where he can get on the edge. So being able to make something out of nothing is what Tank Young is pretty good at as well.
Yeah, not a lot of guys can get away with doing what he just did right there. 2nd and 8. Anderson is going to turn, hand off straight up the middle to the backup tailback, Charlie McCormick. His first carry of the ball game goes nowhere. And it's going to be another 3rd and long. 3rd and 8 coming up for Aquinas. 8:21 to go till halftime. 28-0. Saints poured it on in that first quarter. The defense really buoyed the way in the first quarter for Aquinas. They had a bunch of short fields. They had a pick 6 in that first quarter. They punted on their previous drive, and now a 3rd and 8 play for Aquinas at their own 36-yard line. Anderson, short drop. He's going to fire it far side, complete to Isaiah Gavin. A sliding catch made up near midfield, just shy at the Aquinas 49, and that's the first catch of the season for the 6'5" receiver, Isaiah Gavin.
Yeah, that was just a timing route. Blake Anderson threw that ball before Gavin even broke back towards him.
They're going to pitch it right side, lowering the shoulder, picking up 4 yards. On the ground is Charlie McCormick. Isaiah Gavin, again, we keep talking about this guy. 2 Division I offers, and again, hasn't played a lot of meaningful football, hasn't had a ton of catches in his career, but at 6'5", that's hard to ignore. He's got offers from Indiana State and Colorado School of Mines. You would imagine more are on the way. But again, with size like that, it's just tough to ignore. 2nd and 5 play. They're going to give it to Young. Bounces off one tackle, tries to hit the sideline on the far side. A little stutter across the 40, 35, cut back. Tank Young tripped up just shy of the 32-yard line. And again, the magician, Tank Young, makes something happen out of nothing.
I say it looked like he was going to be taken down or at least slowed down near the line of scrimmage. Stutter stepped a little bit, was able to get to the outside, and then stutter stepped again. Looked like he kind of tight-roped down the sideline. Looked like he might have tripped on the turf just a bit, or he might have been able to cut back and break that one.
Again, Iowa State already on this junior tailback. Everybody in the area is going to be on this kid before he graduates. Whistles at the snap and a false start against Aquinas. It's going to move him back to the 37-yard line. But again, a lot of people are high on this kid, and as they should be. 2,000 yards on the ground a year ago, a couple of 300-yard performances. And there's no knock when it comes to strength of schedule on this kid, because he is playing the best teams that Kansas has and putting up astronomical numbers week in and week out. 5'7", $175, maybe not the ideal Division I build, but he has got Division I speed and Division I strength.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the two games they went over 300 yards last year were the two biggest games of the year for St. Thomas Aquinas, Miege and Wichita Northwest in the state championship game. So Tank Young's got a lot of intangibles that you really like. He's also kind of solid in basketball too. Very much a big competitor. He's not afraid. He's one of the smaller guys on the field and court. Not afraid to go in there and get it and get a little dirty and get hit.
Downey takes a pitch for 12 yards out to the 25-yard line. It's going to set up a 2nd and 3 play here for Aquinas. 6:21 to go till halftime. One receiver in the formation. That's Isaiah Gavin, split out wide to the right side. Tank Young, the deep man. Anderson is going to keep it right side. He's got the first down, and he's wrestled down across the 15-yard line. They pick up 10 yards on a 2nd and 3. That time it was the quarterback, Anderson, and they keep on churning. Now inside the red zone. They go quickly to the line. Anderson back under center is going to turn, pitch to Tank Young, weaving in and out of traffic, picking up a block, walking into the end zone, but there's a flag back near the line of scrimmage, and this one's going to come back.
So it looked like there's a hold on the edge. It was a good run by Tank Young, but I think maybe the wing back might have had a hold of the defensive end.
Christian Mazingo will be the guilty party. And again, we talked about this guy, an absolute tank. 6'4", 317. Like we said, in the offseason, he got up near 400 pounds. This guy is a monster. And again, he's a really good season away from landing at a school at the next level. The hold call makes it 1st and 20, though. Anderson is going to option. He's going to get smoked in the backfield. Mason Richmond leaving his imprint on Blake Anderson as he drops him to the backfield. He sniffed that one out for the snap. It's going to be a loss of a pair.
And Mason Richmond, so far, what's impressed me from him is just the speed that he gets off the football. The second that thing gets snapped, he's normally causing some sort of havoc, and that was just a good play by Mason Richmond.
They call it a loss of 4, actually. And now 2nd and 24 for Aquinas. And this is another opportunity for this Blue Valley defense to stand up here. Anderson sends a man in motion, drops the snap, picks it back up. He is going to get dropped back at the 36-yard line. That time, it was the linebacker coming on the blitz, Cole Ross. And it's 3rd and forever.
I say, and again, saw it in the first quarter, just another center quarterback exchange that really hurts this Aquinas offense, and now it's 3rd and 30. We'll see what Aquinas decides to do, but this is a big play for Blue Valley.
Inside 5 to go till halftime. 28-0. Aquinas in front. They scored all 28 in the first quarter. It's been a scoreless second quarter. This is the battle we expected. The Blue Valley crowd making noise on their feet. Anderson on a 3rd and 30 play is going to roll left. He's going to throw it out in the flat for Tank Young, and he's going to get met and dropped immediately. They pick up 1 yard on the pass to Tank Young, and this Blue Valley Tiger defense gets another stop. 4:21 to go till halftime.
I was saying a big stop should get the football at about 440, 450. So you got time if you're Blue Valley to be able to drive down the field and possibly get some points, because if you can get points to go into halftime, get some sort of momentum going into the second half.
Again, that last drive for Blue Valley was encouraging. They had a couple of big runs. Jake Wolf had a real long run. The offense stays out there for Aquinas on a 4th and 28 play. And this is going to kind of be the same as a punt. They're going to try to pick up 10 yards here or so. Anderson, he's going to actually take a shot for the end zone for Gavin. He's got him. A touchdown strike on a 4th and 28. Anderson dropped that one out of the sky for Isaiah Gavin. Why not take a shot on 4th and forever? And Isaiah Gavin has got touchdown catch number 1 on the year.
And you're seeing why teams are so high on Isaiah Gavin. Beautiful in stride catch. And Blake Anderson just threw that football exactly where you needed to. And that was a beautiful ball by Anderson. Even better catch by Gavin.
Unreal. The extra point kick up and through. It's 35-0 on your Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week.
Worth Harley-Davidson's 20.
Been busy tonight. 35-0 Aquinas. They score a touchdown on a 4th and 28 play. High end over end kick. This one is going to be fielded at the goal line, coming out across the 30, far side, across the 50, and getting out of bounds is Grayson Holbert. And Blue Valley is going to be set up in Aquinas territory just across midfield. And let's go back to that 4th and 28 play. You're near the 35-yard line. If you're Aquinas, offense stayed out there, and you assume they're just going to try to pick up 10 or 15 yards there because a punt probably goes into the end zone. You're like, maybe if we pick up enough, it's like pinning them inside the 20. No, they wanted to go for the jugular, take the shot, and boy, Blue Valley, that's one you'd like to have back.
I say they took a shot, and I would have thought maybe not prevent, but maybe play off a little bit more. Their quarterbacks were playing closer to the line of scrimmage.
Wolf gets wrestled down in the backfield. They tried to run an option play. Wolf kept it and loses a yard. Going to be 2nd and 11, 3:12 to go till halftime. And without a doubt, if you're Blue Valley, you have to score here. You're starting your midfield, down 35-0. Going into the locker room, you got to have points. You got to have something to build on in this locker room.
So you got to have something positive going into that locker room, because right now there's still plenty of time. Aquinas does have 2 timeouts remaining. Aquinas could get the football back, score, and Aquinas gets the ball to start the second half. So you really need to score here and take some time if you're Blue Valley.
Wolf is going to zip pass left side, complete it across the 45-yard line. Getting dumped at the 43-yard line is John Jeffries, his first catch of the ball game. That's going to pick up about 8 yards, and it's going to bring up 3rd and very manageable 3 yards here. 2:32 to go, a lot of time to go in this first half for Blue Valley, sitting on the Aquinas 43-yard line. No reason to be going quick to the line, especially sitting on all your timeouts here.
And I say, if you're Blue Valley, take your time. With the new rule in Kansas, it's 40 seconds. It's like college, 40 seconds, so you can take your time going to the line of scrimmage.
Holbert on a stretch play is going to get run out of bounds a yard behind the line of scrimmage. They're going to lose a yard It's going to be 4th and 4, and that's not the play call you need there. Running a stretch play to the short side of the field. Again, this Aquinas defense flows really well. And you've kind of backed yourself into a corner here again. 2:12 to go, and you ran out of bounds, so it stops the clock. You don't want to give Aquinas another chance here. Aquinas showing blitz, and now whistles, and a flag flies. And boy, they may have jumped off sides, and they did. They tried to get Blue Valley to jump. They ran those two linebackers up to either side. Ran them up to the line real quick, trying to get one of those guys to jump. And it was actually Brooks, the strong safety, that ran up and came too far across. And an offsides call is going to give the Tigers a first down.
Yeah, and it just looked like Brooks just kind of forgot where the line of scrimmage was because it looked like he had plenty of time to stop. Offsides, big play, though, for Blue Valley. Keeps this drive alive with 2:12. See if they can't get points on the board.
More flags before the snap. This time a false start against Blue Valley. Every time Blue Valley gets a hand, they shoot themselves in the foot. A penalty gives them a first down on a 4th and 4, and then they immediately commit a false start and back themselves up. 1st and 15 now.
I understand it. And with Aquinas, you can't do that if you want to be in a game, be around with Aquinas, because they'll make you pay whenever it's 1st and 15.
1st and 15, Wolf in trouble, throws off his back foot. A jump ball is going to sail out of bounds over the head of Dorian Stevens. And now 2nd and 15 with 2:07 to go.
Right now, Aquinas is just kind of pinning back their ears and just coming to Wolf. Wolf just hasn't been able to be comfortable in the pocket as there's just white shirts around him every time he drops back.
Dorian Stevens does not have a catch tonight. They've looked his way a few times, but he's been locked up with Corden Harris every time. Harris has been shadowing him all game. 2nd and 15 as they send Jeffries in motion across the formation. Wolf is going to pull it, throw a bubble screen, and that is going to get blown up. It was actually hauled in, but it's going to be a loss of 2. Making a great break on the ball was Elias Carson. It's going to be 3rd and 17.
Yeah, and Carson just kind of read what was happening. It's kind of smart play. Let him catch it and then get a couple of yards, about a minus gain of 2. So it keeps the clock moving, but Blue Valley really needs to get something going here on 3rd and 17 with a minute and a half to go.
Clock rolling towards halftime in a 35-0 game. Wolf will check the sideline again. These are 2 top 10 teams in the city in the preseason poll. Wolf, pressure immediately, dumps it off into the flat. Holbert dancing around one, dancing around a couple, and he gets out across the 44-yard line up near the 43, but again, not nearly enough. And it's going to be a 4th and 14, and Randy Dreiling stops the clock with his second timeout of this first half. 1:14 to go till halftime, and Aquinas is going to touch it, presumably, one more time in this first half.
Yeah, with a minute 14, we'll see what Blue Valley dials up. Not much has been able to work for him. So far, whenever they try to get on the edge, you can just see the speed from Aquinas on the defensive side. They just have so much speed. Blue Valley just can't get to the edge. There's just not much that's been working for this offense so far. Aquinas has done a really good job of really stopping anything that Blue Valley wants to do.
This is your defending champion in Class 5A, but last season they were highly regarded as the best team in the city. It was maybe them and Rockhurst 1-2 at the end of the year, and Aquinas has done nothing but increase their stranglehold on that number 1 spot with their first half showing tonight. Wolf is going to take the snap, and he's going to boot this one over the head of everybody. He's going to check up inside the 5, and it's going to roll into the end zone. Blue Valley, the cover guy was down there trying to save the ball from going in, but it just sneaks in beyond the pylon. 1:06 to go till halftime, and here comes that Aquinas offense. This will be interesting to see them go hurry up, and if you're looking for a potential roadblock on Aquinas' schedule, Well, there aren't many. They're on the road, even though they're in the EKL, not the toughest EKL schedule you're ever going to get. You don't have to run into Blue Valley North this year. That helps. Miege is waiting at the end of the regular season on October 18th, but you're looking at Blue Valley Southwest, Blue Valley Northwest the next 2 weeks. Mill Valley may be a snake in the grass here in a few weeks on the road. They're going to pitch this one out to Tank Young, far side. He's across the 25, stutter step to the 30. He's got a first down on a gain of about 11 yards. .59 seconds to go. They've got Blue Valley West St. James Academy. And then, like I mentioned, they closed their regular season with Bishop Miege. So even though they're playing in the EKL gauntlet, it's not the most difficult EKL draw you're going to get, avoiding Blue Valley North. Short drop, Anderson is going to throw an out route for Isaiah Gavin, who hauls it in and steps out of bounds, a gain of 11. Isaiah Gavin, the other superstar receiver in this game, 3 catches, a touchdown, as he's zeroing in on 100 yards receiving tonight.
Yeah, and just a smooth-looking receiver. Every route that he runs, it just looks natural for him. And Blake Anderson and Gavin currently have a pretty good connection going on.
Anderson is going to zip a hitch route right side, batted down and incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Isaiah Gavin, again, we talked about the size, 6'5", $165, and he came to Aquinas really as a basketball recruit. This is a guy whose recruitment is starting to pick up in basketball. You think that, maybe not a power 5 guy, again at 6'5", maybe he doesn't necessarily fit in because he plays the 4 in basketball, plays that forward position, but boy, in football at 6'5", there are a lot of places you can go. Anderson, short drop, setting up the screen for Tank Young. Young in a foot race, hits the sideline at midfield. Cut back, he's across midfield into Blue Valley territory. A hurdle, and he's knocked out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. That is an aspect that they didn't really have with Tank Young a year ago. But, boy, they've been looking to get him involved in the passing game a lot tonight.
I say that was probably the one weakness that he had. A couple of screens that they tried to run last season with him, he would drop or just didn't seem comfortable whenever he got the football. But right now, like you mentioned, if they add that aspect to him, this Aquinas offense is going to be real tough to stop.
He only had 3 catches a year ago. They're going to option play left side. They're going to pitch it out, hitting the sideline and going out of bounds just shy of the 25-yard line is Tom Downey. It stops the clock with 37 seconds to go in this first half. And again, a 35-0 advantage for Aquinas on the move, trying to add to their huge lead. 1 timeout remaining for Aquinas. Anderson sends a man in motion. He is going to lose the football in the backfield. Picked up by Tank Young. Scampering around looking for something. He is going to get tripped up back at the 36-yard line. Pressure immediately from Blue Valley, and they jarred the football away from Blake Anderson. But Tank Young, the wherewithal to pick up the loose ball.
Yeah, and it looked like there was a chance that he might have been able to break something. Wasn't able to get it, but Blake Anderson just got lit up, and Aquinas is lucky that they were able to keep that football.
I know we've raved about Aquinas and what they've done tonight, but again, this Blue Valley defense, they've had a stacked deck against them all night. A lot of short fields for Aquinas, but in this second quarter, I think they played pretty well. They've only given up 7 points in this second quarter. The penetration's been good, and they could have a couple of takeaways if not for a couple of just good bounces that went Aquinas' way, because again, Aquinas has put the ball on the turf, 3 times tonight at least?
Yeah, I would say Aquinas has put the ball on the turf, and Anderson has had a problem with the quarterback-center exchange. This Blue Valley defense has been impressive, like you mentioned. In the first quarter, 3 of the scores came from 39, 41, and 16. So they really, like you said, had a stacked deck against them. And then the 28th point was the pick 6. So this Blue Valley defense hasn't played bad so far tonight. I know people will see the score, but Blue Valley, this has a making to be a pretty good defense as the year goes on.
Anderson, they're going to toss a reverse. They want to throw it. Here is going to be a deep ball in the middle of the field and incomplete. That was just a throw in a no man's land. There were 3 black jerseys around there. They tossed it on the reverse, and it was the wingback looking to throw that pass. It was Evan Kammerer, and not a wise decision. Isaiah Gavin was technically in the area, but nowhere close to the football. should have been an interception. Now it's 4th and 15 for Aquinas. Offense stays out there. And again, last time we saw them with a 4th and long, they threw a touchdown pass from nearly 40 away.
And if you're Blue Valley, you got to be aware of that, of what happened last time when it was 4th and 28.
Anderson is going to open up. Another deep ball for Gavin in the end zone. He can't haul it in with one hand, and a flag flies. And we're going to have a pass interference in the end zone. That's going to give Aquinas a first down with 15 seconds to go in the first half.
I would say it looked like there was just some hand fighting there, and then Isaiah Gavin just got a step on the cornerback. And then Gavin's arm kind of got held a little bit. Really, the cornerback didn't really have anything else he could have really done. Honestly, it looked like if he wouldn't have done that, it would have been a touchdown again.
And I am just still in awe that they're in single coverage, knowing that's coming. Why a safety isn't shaded over there, I have no idea why.
I say, and even in that formation, there was one receiver on the field, shade the safety over there. You have safety help. Isaiah Gavin's been able to beat the corner all night.
Yeah.
Get that corner some help.
1st and 10 to the 21. Anderson, short drop, scrambling to his left. He's going to throw one. He's got Tank Young wide open in the end zone. He's got him. A second touchdown strike for Anderson. This time he finds Tank Young, and it's 41-0.
And Tank Young just went into the flat. There was nothing there, and he just broke up field wide open, just called for the ball. Blake Anderson was able to get to him with 8 seconds left. And again, St. Thomas Aquinas, if they're adding Tank Young in the passing game, it's going to be a dangerous offense all year.
Sorry, the 3rd touchdown throw of the night for Blake Anderson. He's thrown 3, he's ran 1. And Tank Young has got his 2nd touchdown. Ran one in from 26 away. And now he's caught one from 21 away. Extra point unit out there. Alan Terrell is hot. He's out here on the numbers with the officials getting in their ear. I'm not sure what he's frustrated about. Obviously, it's something that we didn't catch. But 8 seconds to go till halftime. Still beside himself. And you know frustrations are starting to boil over here. And the Tigers have just received a sideline warning. And Alan Terrell's not done. He takes a timeout prior to the extra point try. And I think he's going to do it to give an earful to the officials. Boy, he walks. Yeah, he's walking right after the official. Look at this. Alan Terrell is hot, yelling at the officials over there at the hash mark on the near side of the field. And again, tensions have got to be high. This is not what you expected in the season opener after a rough season last year, 4-5. You come in with high expectations again, and everything has gone against you in this first half. I mean, credit Aquinas, rightfully so, but there have been some breaks that just haven't gone Blue Valley's way either, and it is a large hole, 41-0 right now. And I don't think it's indicative of the team that Blue Valley is. It's just they haven't gotten any help tonight. It's been the ball just hasn't bounced their way a lot of the times. And Aquinas, to their credit, has taken advantage of every of those opportunities. Extra point kick is blocked, and it will stay 41-0. We'll keep you right here. We only got 8 seconds to go in this first half, but well, you know it's going to be an interesting discussion at halftime. And they're going to have a lot to talk about. And again, stay with us for halftime. A lot of scores going on around the metro area. Don't shut this game off just yet. We want to keep you up to date on everything that's going around on a busy evening in Kansas City. A lot of big games across the area. And again, still a long way to go in this game. Just 8 seconds to play in this first half as teams are prepared to head to the locker room. But Chad Rader, Randy Withers have all your halftime scores and updates from around the area. Again, in a busy night of high school football in Kansas City. Week 1 in Kansas, Week 2 in the Show Me State. And again, these kids are going to get very different messages in their respective locker rooms here in about 8 seconds. Weinrich's got it teed up. Jans and Holbert back deep for Blue Valley. Line drive, end over end kick is going to scoot into the end zone, a touchback. And here comes this offense, and I'm sure we'll see a run play, maybe even a kneel down, and these teams are going to go to the locker room. And like I said, Taylor, there's about to get very different speeches.
Yeah, I say on the Aquinas side, I think you're just going to get a lot of, we did what we're supposed to do. And Blue Valley, there's going to be a lot of conversations. We just need to get something figured out because moving forward, you don't want this game to stay at 41-0. You want to be able to put some points on the board in the second half moving forward. You got to start. This is only week one. You really need to get this offense a little bit into rhythm so then that way it kind of can carry into next week. So the message is going to be got to keep playing, and hopefully get some points on the board.
Wolf is going to turn, hand off straight up the middle. And it's going to be Jans across the 35, tripped up just shy of the 40 with 2 seconds to go in the first half. That's going to stop the clock. It doesn't look like Alan Terrell is going to take a timeout. And that should take us to halftime as soon as they roll it. And it will. So St. Thomas Aquinas, the defending champions of Class 5A, 12-0 a season ago. They have picked up right where they left off. They lead 41-0 over the 10th-ranked team in the city, the Tigers of Blue Valley, as they head to the locker rooms. Again, we're going to throw it back to the guys in the studio. Randy Withers, Chad Rader have all your scores on a busy Friday night of high school football. You're listening to your Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week.
In the last 10 years, we've done over 100.
How long is halftime?
on Blue Valley in that first half. And they're set to get the football back in the third quarter to start off the second half. I'm Tim Spurl. He's Taylor Dameron, by the way. The Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you by the Sports Medicine and Performance Center at the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider. Blue Valley, Shawnee Mission, DeSoto, and Lansing School District Athletics. And Taylor, 41-0. We've seen tighter games, and obviously this is week one. There's a long way to go in the season. What do you think the message was in that Blue Valley locker room from Coach Terrell at halftime?
That we got to get some sort of momentum. We need, I mean, like you said, it's a long season. This loss isn't going to affect, week 8, week 7. Just get some sort of momentum going into next week. Get some points on the board. Start feeling pretty good about yourself in the second half. Because if you can put up a couple of scores, put up 14, put up 21, maybe you feel a lot better about yourself going into the second, into week 2. Because if you remain shut out here, you're not going to feel too good all week, and you're not going to feel too good next Friday.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and it's kind of cliche, but win the third quarter, win the fourth, win the second half. And, yeah, you may not win this game. You may not overcome a 41-point halftime lead, but again, you're playing the number 1 team in the city. This may be a top 2 team. If you take everyone from Kansas, everyone Missouri, and I'm well aware of what I'm saying right now, if you take everyone in Kansas and everyone in Missouri, Aquinas is probably number 2 behind CBC. Class 6 power on the other side of the state line over in St. Louis. But they're probably number 2 right there, just the talent top to bottom. And again, they're going to have to go through Miege at the end of the year. And, Rockhurst would certainly like to throw their name into the ring. But I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of arguments about the best team in Kansas right now. So consider who you're playing at the same time, So take it a quarter at a time. Take it a possession at a time. Try to start winning possessions and give yourself something to build on down the line. Blue Valley's got it teed up at the 40-yard line. 3 returners back for Aquinas, expecting an onside kick here. They've got 6 men on the return unit up near the 50-yard line. Again, anticipating something tricky here on the second half kickoff.
I'd say if you're Blue Valley at this point, why not?
Colin Wood has got it teed up to the short hash mark over here to the near side. And he is just going to boot it deep, high, end over, and kick into the night is going to be taken by Carson from the 5-yard line with a head of steam. He is going to get to the far side and get hammered out of bounds near the 23-yard line. And, yeah, that's going to be something to keep an eye on, the energy, the intensity, the focus of these players for Blue Valley in this second half. You're in a 41-point hole. How bad do you want to win possessions going forward? Are you going to get down on yourself, or are you going to dig and find something to build on? And, boy, you know what? As frustrating as a game as this has been, the kid they sent out to go get the kicking tee did a really subpar job. Kind of lost his focus. Let's talk about that. This kid's maybe 2 years old or so, started wandering the field. You got to have a direction, know where you're going, have a game plan there. He didn't have his game plan. He dumped that game plan on the sideline, Taylor.
So he got the applause from the crowd, and he was soaking it in.
They're going to go straight up the middle. Aquinas is with Charlie McCormick, and he's going to pick up 7 hard yards. Obviously, I was being extremely sarcastic about that young man's performance. For those listening at home or back in the studio, don't fire me. He's a 2-year-old. I wasn't serious. He'll bounce back. Maybe that was the inspiring performance this Tigers team needed, seeing that 2-year-old wander around the field looking for the tee. 2nd and 3. They're going to pitch to McCormick right side. He is going to lower the shoulder and get out near the first down marker. Charlie McCormick, a 5'10", 190-pound tailback, a senior. Again, backs up Tyron Tank Young. Did get a touch in that first half. And again, Tank Young on the sideline, and he could very well be on ice the rest of the way in this ball game.
I think that's what made his over 2,000 yards last year so impressive. There's a lot of halves, second halves, where he didn't play.
Didn't play, right. First and 10, they do move the chains to the 34, just underway in this third quarter, 41-0 Aquinas. They're going to give to McCormick straight up the middle. He is going to squeeze past the interior. Lost the football at the end of that one, but they're going to say he's down across the 41 near the 42-yard line and a pick up of 7 more yards on first down.
And to say right now, it still looks like the number one offensive line is out there for Aquinas, so probably still expect them to get some push, but Charlie McCormick's going to run hard. Obviously, he's not the back that Tank Young is, but McCormick really runs hard, and he's going to do what you kind of see and just kind of bust up the middle and keep his legs moving to get 7 or 8 yards.
Second, and let's call it a long 2 for Aquinas as Anderson climbs in under center. He's going to give it to Barnett, who's going to pick up a first down right side as he spins forward across midfield into Tiger territory, and he's wrestled down near the 45-yard line. Again, this offensive line for Aquinas, pretty new look compared to last year. Mikulski is off to Oklahoma State. Jaden Roberts, again, he was that superstar recruit that was on everyone's radar. He picked up an Alabama offer this summer, but he transferred to a high school down in Houston, I believe. Somewhere in Texas he went, so no more Jaden Roberts on this line. But this is still a monster line despite losing 2 Division I guys across the front. Henry Ligo, 6'2", 251 at the left tackle. John Cutney, 6'6", 290 at left guard. On a 1st and 10, they're going to turn hand to McCormick, who breaks 1 tackle and scoots forward to the 41-yard line, a gain of 4. Danny Carroll's the center at 6'1", 240. Christian Mazingo, again, we talked about this kid. He's 6'4", 320 at right guard, and Deontay Brown, 6'1", 260 at right tackle. So, again, they recycled a lot of guys last year to a couple of Division I programs. Again, they were fantastic on the offensive line, but this year it seems like they just keep on going.
Yeah, I say it just seems like whenever you lose somebody, just replace it. Tate Raboyne down at Central Missouri, big quarterback. That was an impressive quarterback for them. Looks like they just replaced him with Blake Anderson. Blake Anderson's just as good. You know, with Aquinas, you know, you lose somebody, like you said, even to a transfer, there's somebody else waiting in the wings to be able to plug in. And that schedule that you kind of routed off until Bishop Miege, you would expect this offensive line really to dominate every game before that.
McCormick picks up 6 yards, and it's 3rd and 1 from the Blue Valley 36-yard line as Aquinas starts to move it methodically here to open up quarter 3. 8:20 to go in this third quarter. Again with a 41-0 lead. Anderson will hand it off left side. Flag flies as Tom Downey scoots out to the 30-yard line. Would be a first down and a gain of 6, but a flag could indicate that this one is going to be coming back. And it is an illegal shift against Aquinas. James Jarrett in the game at tailback. Charlie McCormick limped off after that last 7-yard carry. And now into the game, James Jarrett, only a sophomore. But how about this for a sophomore tailback? Again, the rich get richer, right? We talk about this Aquinas team reloading. Sophomore James Jarrett, 5'10", 210 at running back. He's going to get the pitch right side. He cuts it up near the hash mark, runs over a man. He's got 10. The ball comes out at the end. He's got the first down. Ball scoots out of bounds, but he's got a first down carry. And now he's immediately going to come out of this game, and McCormick is going to come in. But, boy, you left an impression you ran over a man, but then you lose the football. And, again, I guess, you know, only a sophomore, so still young. But even just that little glimpse right there, I mean, they've got another one waiting in the wings.
Yeah, I say, if for some reason, you know, something happens to Tank Young and Charlie McCormick, it seems like they got a third option there for Aquinas. So, like you said, just kind of someone else that they can plug in. Like you said, 210 as a sophomore. That's a big kid.
Big, yeah. McCormick back into the game. They're going to give it to him as he ducks under one tackler, and he falls forward to the 20-yard line. Pick up a 2 on the ground. 7:35 to go and rolling in this third quarter on your Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week. I am Tim Spurl. He is Taylor Dameron, running our camera tonight, Gannon Cornley. He also came through in the pregame, putting together some game notes for us. Former Blue Valley Tiger, by the way. We had a discussion with him at halftime. He was disgruntled. 7:05 to go in this third quarter. They're going to toss it to McCormick right side, weaving in and out of traffic, lowering the shoulder over a man. He's to the 5-yard line as he left an imprint in a Tiger defender as he's got a first down, and he remains down on the far side, and McCormick for the second time is going to have to limp off the field.
I don't know the exact extent of it. Was able to get up. Might just be cramping.
And again, back into the game comes James Jarrett. And if you're wondering where Tank Young is, well, you don't need him when you're up 41-0. Your offense is driving again, and Tank Young's night likely done. I'm not so sure that Tank Young eclipsed the 100-yard mark, and it would be the first time since he was a freshman that he didn't go over 100 yards in a game. Anderson climbs in under center. He's going to bootleg to the right side, and he's going to get run out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Tank Young did get into the end zone twice tonight. He ran one in from 26 away. He also caught a 21-yard touchdown pass, and that was kind of the one thing that Tank Young maybe didn't show in this offense a season ago. He had 3 catches all season last year. He's already eclipsed that mark tonight. He's had a few catches out of the backfield, and he also caught a wheel route for a touchdown to end that first half.
Yeah, and if you add that to this offense along with his running and kind of the other things that they do, this Aquinas offense is going to be very, very hard to stop.
They're going to give to James Jarrett behind right tackle. He walks into the end zone. That was wide open for James Jarrett. All he had to do was cross over the end line. That was plenty of running room for Jarrett. The right side of that line absolutely steamrolled the far side of that Tiger defense. And now it's 47-0 Aquinas. 5:49 to go third quarter, and the first varsity touchdown for the sophomore James Jarrett. Extra point kick up, and that is through. 48-0. Aquinas, they touch the ball first in that third quarter. They add 6 more. You're listening to the Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week.
Your home for the NFL.
Aquinas, the #1 ranked team in the city, and undoubtedly the #1 ranked team in Class 5A to start the season in the state of Kansas. Putting it on the Blue Valley Tigers at Blue Valley in front of an absolutely packed house. This place was jumping at the start of this game, and Aquinas immediately took all that momentum and put it on their side. This kick is going to be fielded a yard deep in the end zone, a touchback. Here comes Jake Wolf, and this has not been a ceremonious start for him. Again, we talked about this guy. He's on a lot of Division I radars. He's got the size. He's got the mental capabilities to be a quarterback at the next level, but you come out here against a quality opponent that a lot of Division I schools are going to look at and want to see what you do against this team this game isn't over. You still got time to make an impression against a top-tier defense if you're Jake Wolf. You're not going to come back and win this game down 48-0, but there's still a lot of game left. That number one defense is still out there for Aquinas. You can still put on a little bit of a show. They're going to go right up the middle. A gain of a yard for Grayson Holbert, but again, these plays go on film. The score's not on that film. These plays are. And so I understand that you're down, but for Jake Wolf, again, his recruitment and his performance in these games is going to be monumentous for this kid and where he ends up in 2 years. Again, only a junior. But he's playing maybe the best defense in the state of Kansas right now, and you've got a quarter and a half to work with.
Yeah, and also some colleges look at how do you bounce back from a bad half.
Sure, yeah. 5:07 to go, third quarter. They're going to hand it off straight up the middle, and boy, getting stonewalled again was the tailback for Blue Valley back to the line of scrimmage. That time it was Jans on the give. But again, the one's still out there for Aquinas defensively. So here comes the 3rd and 8 play for this Blue Valley offense. Not much to cheer about in that first half. Jake Wolf, a quiet first half throwing the football. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Dorian Stevens wide to the right side. Corden Harris on him. Wolf is going to roll right, set up a screen to the backside. He's got Jans picking up a block, picking up a first down. Jans is across midfield in a foot race. He's trying to beat out Corden Harris far side. He's inside the 20, and he's tripped up near the 15-yard line. And that's a beautifully run screen pass to Jans on the backside.
I say perfectly executed. A little bit of a blitz from Aquinas. The line just kind of chipped that blitz a little bit, got out in front. That was a good screen pass there for Wolf, and that's kind of what you said. All these plays get on film, and that's kind of a big play for Blue Valley. Like I said, just try to get momentum going into week 2. You get some plays that work against Aquinas, and maybe it'll work next week as well.
To the 15-yard line, and Blue Valley goes quickly to the line. Holbert back into the game. Jans over to catch a breather on the sideline after that long catch and run play. They're going to give it to Holbert straight up the middle, breaking tackles. He's inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Call that a gain of about 7 on first down. This is the furthest into Aquinas territory Blue Valley has marched all night. Call it a 2nd and a long 3 play. Holbert stays in the game in the pistol behind his quarterback Wolf. Wolf is going to give to the up back who climbs inside the 5 for the 4-yard line goes Bo Palmer. The 6'3", 210-pound bruiser has got a first down. It's 1st and goal for Blue Valley.
And say now if you're Blue Valley, just keep running the football, get into the end zone, and feel pretty good momentum with 3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter.
1st and goal to the 4-yard line. Palmer and Holbert, the 2 tailbacks in the ball game. Dorian Stevens, again, he's been shadowed by Corden Harris all game. He's wide to the right side on an island out there with Corden Harris. Let's see if they look his way. Wolf is going to look left. He's going to throw for the back pylon. Jump ball is batted away and incomplete. They were trying to hit Gillen on the back line. They basically ran that corner route for the back pylon. But it was batted away, 2nd and goal. And again, Stevens will line up wide to the right side. This time they're going to stack 3 receivers out to the right side. And now they're going to bring Stevens across back on an island on his own to the back side of the formation, to the left. And again, Corden Harris sticks right into his pocket. He's a big target. You'd love to see him go up and get a ball here at 6'3". Instead, they're going to run an RPO, and diving into the end zone left side is the quarterback, Wolf. But there is a whistle and a flag down, and this one is probably going to come back.
Or we might possibly see our second targeting call. run.
That's a holding on Dorian Stevens, the receiver. We talked about him. He was on an island to the backside of that play, and that's where Wolf ran it. He ran that read option and snuck out the back door, went to the left of the formation. And again, Stevens has been in a battle all night with Corden Harris, and he ends up getting the flag thrown and a holding call. And so 2nd and goal is now back on the 11-yard line.
Saying you got to think Dorian Stevens is pretty frustrated right now. Kind of came in, was a pretty good receiver for them last season. Been held to nothing, really only 1 or 2 targets so far in this game. So Stevens probably a little bit frustrated.
Wolf throws over the middle and is batted down. And now a flag flies, and we're going to have a pass interference call in the end zone. Gillen was trying to fight back to the football, but Terrence Collins, the other corner, got just enough of Gillen to slow him up on the route. And again, he was hand-checking in the end zone. That's what held Gillen up, trying to come back to the football. And the flag came out. So it's half the distance. It's not an automatic first down, by the way. That was a rule change a year ago. It's the 15 yards. It's half the distance, but it's not an automatic first down. And we saw that be a factor in games last season. And here it remains 2nd and goal, but they move back to the 5-yard line. Wolf is going to hand it off. Right side, breaking one tackle is Holbert reaching for the pylon. He's in. Grayson Holbert scampers in from 5 away, and Blue Valley has got their first touchdown of the season. Grayson Holbert from 5 away.
Yeah, impressive drive from Blue Valley after giving up a score to start the quarter, come out, respond, and that's something that you can put on tape, get some momentum on the offensive side of the football going into next week so you have some sort of positive tape to look at tomorrow.
Colin Wood on for the extra point kick. 2:24 to go in this third quarter. Hold down, and this kick is going to be blocked. And Colin Wood is hammered. And he remains down. And now help to his feet, and it looks like the kicker is going to avoid injury, but Blue Valley adds a touchdown of their own. 48-6 on your Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week.
Hey sports fans, Les Norman here. Check out my show, Breaking the Norm,
$48-6. Aquinas dumping it on Blue Valley tonight. Blue Valley does add a touchdown. Colin Wood will drive this one, a line drive kick. It's going to be fielded on a hop near the 10-yard line. Scooting out across the 20 and getting blasted was the return man for Aquinas. Boy, Blue Valley, they may be down big, but they're still hitting. And guess who? It was Mason Richmond on the cover unit, and he almost decapitated a freshman, Jacob Bittner.
Yeah, Bittner didn't really stand a chance. Ran into his own guy, and then after he hit his own guy, turned around, there's Mason Richmond right there. Not much else he could have done.
Hey, I want to put this into perspective for you. Mason Richmond goes 6'6", 255. And we just talked about Jacob Bittner. He's a freshman. He goes 5'7", 134. So, boy, that's what happens when a smart car meets a train. 2:19 to go third quarter. they're going to option right side, and getting dragged down in the backfield is the backup quarterback for St. Thomas Aquinas, Will Thompson. Second and 12 coming up, 2:02 to go third quarter, and we pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Kansas City's favorite sports station, 20 years and counting.
Out there on a second and 12, James Jarrett is the deep back behind him, 1:40 to go in this third quarter, and flags fly, and we've got a false start against Aquinas, but now starting to empty the bench in the third quarter, and that's not something I thought I would say at the start of this game.
Last season, the second closest game that St. Thomas Aquinas had all year was this Blue Valley matchup. Blue Valley was able to stay within 16. But this one, just offense couldn't get in a rhythm. Defense got put in some bad situations early on and just kind of put Blue Valley in a tough spot.
1:22, second and 17. This one is a snap between the quarterback's legs. Jarrett back to recover it inside the 5-yard line. And again, the Saints put the ball on the turf. Jarrett, I don't know if he was ready for that snap. But by the way, that's, again, at least 4 times Aquinas has put the ball on the turf. And again, everyone has found a way to bounce back into their arms. So again, we talked about the bounces not going Blue Valley's way either. Again, amongst other things, why it's a 42-point game. But there again, a ball that goes between the quarterback's legs, and Jarrett able to come up with it clean.
I'd say the bounces just kind of went Aquinas' way. None of the bounces really went Blue Valley's way.
Third and 30, 35 seconds to go in this third quarter. They're going to give to Jarrett, who runs over one man and dives out to the 10-yard line. 5 tough yards for Jarrett. As we crawl inside 25 seconds, it's going to be fourth at about 25. And this will likely take us down to the end of quarter number 3 with Aquinas in the driver's seat, up 42. By the way, if you're keeping score at home, that quarter was 7-6, St. Thomas Aquinas over Blue Valley. So, again, we talked about finding things to build on, and that does bring us down to the end of the third quarter. Blue Valley is going to be able to look back and say, hey, in that third quarter, we took every punch and we hit them right back. We're at the end of 3. It's a 42-point advantage for Aquinas as we head for quarter 4 on your Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week.
Whether you're
Out there for Aquinas. And deep is Chase Jans for Blue Valley. They come after the punter. They don't get there. It's going to be a short punt. It's going to check up and going to be down, boy, at the Blue Valley 27-yard line. So a real short punt has given Blue Valley a real short field here to work with.
Yeah, let's see if Blue Valley can't get more momentum on offense going into next week and get Wolf maybe in a little bit more of a rhythm. So far, really throwing the football still hasn't been in the greatest of rhythm so far.
42-point game in this one. But again, a lot of games going on around the metro area. Again, a lot of games much tighter than this one as well.
Yeah, I'd say right now the kind of the big matchup on the Missouri side, it's 14-10, Blue Springs over Rockhurst right now. Ray Peck is up 38-7 on Blue Springs South. Lee Summit North up on St. Joe Central 42-0. Lee Summit West up 45-0 on Fort Osage.
Chase Jans right up the middle. Picks up about 6 yards. And again, after the conclusion of this one, we've got a 2nd and 3 here. We've got all the scores for you on the 810 WHB High School Football postgame report, brought to you by the Bob Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC Rooter, and Electrical. Randy Withers, Chad Rader back in the studio. 2nd and 3, they're going to give it to Jans, knifing through a hole. He's got room. He's inside the 10 to the 5 into the end zone. Chase Jans, a 20-yard scamper to the end zone, and the Tigers add 6.
Yeah, just got a couple of seals on the left side of that line. Able to hit the hole and was able to get in for the touchdown. And again, more positivity that you can put on tape.
Couple of rushing touchdowns. Both running backs have gotten in the end zone tonight for Blue Valley. Grayson Holbert scored on the last drive, and now this time, Chase Jans takes advantage of the short field. 48-12 extra point unit out there. And this kick is spiked up and through by Colin Wood. 48-13, 11-10 to go fourth quarter. We'll keep you right here, Taylor, and you're on that 810 varsity scoreboard. How about a couple more scores from around the metro area?
Yeah, kind of a closer game that I don't think many people expect. Platte County 19, Park Hill South 17. Staley and Kearney, another big matchup in the state of Missouri, 25-19. Staley leading that one. North Kansas City is up 21-10 on William Chrisman. And then on the Kansas side, Bishop Miege is up 27-14 on Blue Valley North. Mill Valley is up on Blue Valley West 14-0. St. James Academy up 33-7 on Blue Valley Northwest. Lansing is up 7 against Blue Valley Southwest. They are up 20-13, and Gardner Edgerton is up 42-7 on Shawnee Mission East.
48-13 here. 11-10 to go, and those scores in that game break are brought to you by CarStar Metcalf, your local collision repair experts in Overland Park. Colin Wood has it teed up at the 40-yard line. See if they get tricky with this kick here, or if they just go deep. They will go deep, high end over and kick into the night. It's going to be fielded at the 5 off a hop. Dancing around and getting tripped up just shy of the 15-yard line was Cade Scherzer. And again, Aquinas starting to dive into their bench here. We saw it in the third quarter, and a much improved performance by the T-Kid. Again, we're talking maybe not 2, maybe 3 or 4, but boy, look at the hustle this time, and he had to go clear across the field to the far hash mark. Maybe if you're Colin Wood, you tee it up on the short side for the kid, because now he's out of breath. He's still on the numbers. He's got a long way to come in here. Now he's distracted. He wants to see what's going on. He's a football fan. He wants to be out there, get that in-game experience, and he's finally off the field. His dad had to get him, but great hustle and a much improved performance.
I say much better execution on that one.
And this is what happens when you get a game like this. It's 48-13. I got to give you something at home, and boy, he's fired up. He's over with the cheerleaders now, and now he's going to come over to Mom. Mom, did you see that? He's got high fives from the crowds. He's pointing at the cheerleaders. He knows what's going on. Good for that kid. He's got a bright future ahead of him. 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line. Oh, boy. It's week 1. I don't know what you want me to say. Back out there, Will Thompson and company. He's going to turn and give to his tailback, back to the scrimmage, or back to the line of scrimmage. He goes and now fighting for extra yards. Good second effort. Give you about 4 yards and set up a third at about 6 play. But again, a lot of the 2s out there. Bowersox records that tackle. I haven't talked a ton about this Blue Valley defense outside of Mason Richmond, but Jack Bowersox, returning starter in this game a year ago. Again, it was much tighter last year at Aquinas for the season opener. He had 14 tackles in that game. Been all over the field again tonight, a 3rd and 5 for Aquinas. They're going to go straight up the middle, and that one goes nowhere. And Aquinas has gone deeper into their bench with Thomas Mansky in at quarterback now. A junior at 6'1", buck 85. And now a fourth down play coming up for St. Thomas Aquinas. And likely we're going to see a punt called upon here. Again, 48-13, Aquinas not in jeopardy of losing their grip on this game with 9:09 to go in the fourth quarter. And back deep to return, Chase Jans had that 20-yard touchdown run on the previous drive. And he's back deep to return this punt. Low snap, end over end punt. Jans is going to have a shot at this one. Takes it off one hop. Straight up the middle. He's across midfield into Aquinas territory at the 30. Stumbling to the 20. Cut back inside the 15, and he's tripped up by the punter near the 12-yard line. Chase Jans, all of a sudden, boy, you found ourselves an electric player on this Blue Valley team, and I know we're late in this game, but Jans had an electrifying touchdown run on the last drive, and now a big punt return. This guy going forward, the Tigers may have a weapon in Chase Jans.
I say he's been impressive since he's kind of entered the game more so here in the second half, and nice little spark for Blue Valley as they needed something after coming out of the first half without scoring any points.
The one's back out there for Blue Valley, Jake Wolf and company. Checks the sideline. The D-back is Chase Jans in this 48-13 game, 8:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Wolf, short drop, looking, far pylon in the end zone. Hauled in, a touchdown pass for Jake Wolf as he connects with John Jeffries on the corner route. And a beautiful ball from Jake Wolf. We were waiting for it all night, and that was a thing of beauty out of the right hand of Jake Wolf.
I say now you see why there's interest from colleges for Jake Wolf. That was a beautiful ball towards the pylon, and Wolf just placed it exactly where he needed to. That was a beautiful ball, and Blue Valley's starting to put some things on some tape to move forward and have some positivity.
Yes. Colin Wood on for the extra point kick, and this kick is blocked. Great jump off the line by Corden Harris. He was the corner to the far side. He got in there and makes the block. We're going to keep you right here because the most exciting part of my night is coming up. I don't want to miss a moment of it. The Blue Valley kick unit is going to be back out there, and that means this T-Kid has got to get himself ready to go again because, boy, he has been electrifying to watch. But on a serious note, though, back to that throw from Wolf, he's to the far hash mark, and he's throwing a corner out to the slot guy to the left side of the formation, so to the wide side of the field, running a corner route for the far pylon. He put enough pop on the ball to get there in time and enough loft on the ball to give his receiver enough time to get out there, but it was a perfect pass, and he dropped it in the bucket right on that back pylon.
Yeah, he did. He threw it exactly where only his guy could get it. If his guy couldn't get it, it was going to be an incomplete pass, and you live to see another day. So you're seeing now with Wolf, if he's got time in the pocket, you can see where the arm strength comes and where the excitement for Jake Wolf comes from. So having a clean pocket moving forward, I think if that's going to be a task for Blue Valley moving forward. Give this kid a clean pocket, and those are the types of throws he's going to make.
And again, we talked about it. When colleges see this film, they're not looking at the score. They're looking at that play. This kick is a line drive and smoked through the back of the end zone, and here we go. Starting from his own side of the field near the 35, this T-Kid is making a sprint straight for the Aquinas sideline. He gets redirected by Dad, and the referee brought him the T. What are you doing? That, you can't do that if you're an official. And I get, it's a game. You got to get the game, but let the kid do his job. You met him at midfield, gave him the T. Well, that is disheartening. I get so excited for this T-Kid and his dad. T-Kid got a little distracted there. He was going to go right over to the Aquinas sideline, probably going to get in the faces of a couple of the players over there. He's probably going to go right up to Christian Mazingo, all 6'4", 320 of them. And this T-Kid, all 3 years old and about 40 pounds of him was going to get into the face of Mazingo. But that never happened because the referee brought him the tee. By the way, there was a timeout on the field. Aquinas is back out there offensively. 48-19, and I promise that's probably the last time I talk about the tee kid. Probably. I don't know. Offense back out there. Number ones have remained out there, by the way, for this Blue Valley defense. It's worth saying, and here's an interesting change. A couple of the ones back out there on offense for St. Thomas Aquinas. They're going to pitch it right side, and that one goes nowhere. Mason Richmond was waiting for him, and he almost stripped that ball free of the backup tailback. But like I said, a couple of the ones out there, a couple of the ones on the offensive line peppered in there. Isaiah Gavin back out there at receiver. I don't think that Randy Dreiling is worried by any stretch, but maybe after seeing his team just do nothing the last two times, he puts a couple of ones out there, maybe to try to at least move the sticks a couple of times. Dropping the exchange as the quarterback and recovering it right at the line of scrimmage is the reserve quarterback, Will Thompson. But again, Thompson out there, not a starter, but Tom Downey out there also at one of the wings, as is Finn Barnett. So really most of the starting offense, including the entire starting offensive line back out there for Aquinas in this fourth quarter. They probably didn't think they were going to see the field again at the start of the fourth quarter, yet here they are, 7:30 to go in this fourth quarter, all back out there.
Yeah, just trying to hold on to the football. Obviously, it's not a running clock right now, so, get 3 and out. Blue Valley comes back in with their ones on the offensive side.
Wow, a shot taken at the 35. Caden McCumber came up and laid a crippling blow on the tailback, William Lange, who pops back up onto his feet. It'll be 4th down and 4 with 7:02 to go in this ballgame. 48-19, like I mentioned. Aquinas in charge of this one. Blue Valley has gotten all their points in this second half. Thompson in the offense remains out there. Inside 7 to play in this fourth quarter. Lange remains the deep back. Movement across the line, no flags. And now whistles, and Randy Dreiling wants a timeout. 6.5 to play in this game. And what can you do with some of those scores, Taylor?
Olathe South is up 14-10 on Lawrence. Olathe East and Olathe North. Olathe North winning that one 27-14. Shawnee Mission North and Shawnee Mission South. South is up in that one 28-7. Shawnee Mission West trails Shawnee Mission Northwest 29-27. We'll go ahead and cross back over to the state line, see what's going on in some of these other games. Blue Springs still leads Rockers 14-10. Park Hill is up 21-3 on Liberty. And it looks like Lee Summit West has beaten Belton 57-13.
That game break, that score break, brought to you by the CarStar Metcalf, your local collision repair experts. At Overland Park, a high booming kick. Jans lost it in the lights. It's going to take an Aquinas bounce across midfield down at the 45-yard line. 48-19. Aquinas has had this one really in hand since the first quarter ended. Again, they jumped out to a 28-0 lead in that first quarter. Blue Valley struggled to get anything going offensively in that first quarter. Blue Valley kept giving Aquinas short fields. Aquinas kept taking advantage. They had a pick six near the end of that first quarter, which kind of felt like a dagger into the Tigers. But in the second half, though, give them credit. They have fought in this second half. They were down 41-0 at halftime, and they've cut it back to 48-19. Wow, getting drilled was Holbert, and he got absolutely plowed by the defensive tackle, Michael McNamara, 5'9", 200. And that was like a gunshot. A violent collision.
Saying it looks like now it's ones versus ones. It looks like Aquinas has brought it back out. Most of their starting defense.
Second and 10, Wolf checks the sideline. And again, you want to put stuff on film, do it against the ones. Do it right now. You're in a big hole late in the fourth quarter. But again, you got to put on a show. Wolf is going to fire a comeback route and complete it to Dorian Stevens as he piggybacks Corden Harris across the first down marker, a gain of 12. And literally piggybacked him. Corden Harris was hanging on his back, and Stevens carried him across the line.
I say Stevens ran a nice sharp route on that one, came back to the football. It was a good throw, good dart by Wolf, and Dorian Stevens gets his first reception of the game.
A touchdown and a 2-point conversion here can turn it to a 3-score game. Wolf is going to roll near side. He's going to flare one deep down the sideline, just overshot Sterling Lockett, who had his defender beat by 3 steps. And that's a touchdown if he connects.
Say Wolf rolled out over to the near side. Just didn't get his feet set, so the ball was a little inaccurate. And like you said, if he's able to put that right in the bucket, that's a touchdown.
Second and 10 for the Tigers. From the Aquinas 42-yard line. 5:14 to go in this fourth quarter. And again, in a 48-19 hole. Wolf is going to turn, handoff straight up the middle, pushing the pile forward near the 38-yard line. Goes the tailback, Chase Jans. And it'll be 3rd and about 8 here for Blue Valley. Again, the one thing that's worth pointing out, especially for the guys in the studio, Mason Richmond could end up being a tight end for the Hawkeyes next year. He's already committed to play for Iowa. What position he's going to play is a little bit in the air. Again, he can do a lot of things offensively and defensively. Hasn't taken a snap on offense tonight. 3rd and 8, Wolf pump fakes, is going to throw over the middle, incomplete. They were looking for Dorian Stevens on a slant route, and he got held up by Corden Harris. But again, a guy that may be playing tight end for the Hawkeyes for the next few seasons, again, worth noting. And I talked to Coach Terrell this week, and he said the thing that they're going to get away from is playing guys on both sides. They wanted to do away with that. They used to do it all the time. But again, it really came back to bite them, losing so many starters to injury last year. Wolf is going to step up on a 4th down throw over the middle, and he was getting dropped as he got rid of that ball, and it comes up well short of the intended target and a turnover on downs. But again, he said when you lose a guy that's going both ways, you're losing double the starters. And it really bit them real hard last year because they had so many guys going both ways. And so I think that's part of why Mason Richmond is only playing on the defensive side. Not to say that he wouldn't come in and line up in the slot or something offensively if they needed him to, but they wanted to get away from that this year just because of what it did to this team last season. So worth noting that Mason Richmond, not an offensive snap tonight. Fumbling the exchange, ball loose on the first down play for the Saints. There's a scrum near the 40-yard line. Blue Valley's saying they have it. It would be the first time they jumped on a fumble tonight. They're signaling that they do. 4:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Still no signal. And they're going to say Aquinas comes up with that loose ball.
Yeah, and every bounce, that seemed like
every bounce.
Blue Valley, it seemed like they had 4 or 5 guys in that football, and somehow Aquinas came away with it.
And if there's one knock on Aquinas tonight, it's been just that. And it hasn't been just these second-teamers that have done this. It was the first team that fumbled 3 or 4 times. And again, the ball just came right to him. Fortunate bounces. McCormick back out there, breaking tackles across midfield, running over a man at the 45, and he's tripped up near the 41. And the entire starting unit back out there for Aquinas. So they're not messing around. Randy Dreiling probably isn't pleased with something that he's seen. Will Thompson is still the quarterback, but he's got his ones all back out there with 3:28 to go, up 48-19. So there was something he wasn't happy with, obviously. That's why he's got most of his starters back into this game. From the 42 of Blue Valley, they're going to toss it right side, and Another big collision to the 40-yard line, pick up a 2 yards. But a stop by Sterling Smithson. Yeah, Blue Valley can hit. That is for sure. And again, this defense for Blue Valley, you're going to look up and say 48 points given up. But again, we talked about it. There were so many times that Aquinas was set up with a short field. They had a pick six. This defense kind of had their hands tied for most of this ballgame.
I said the defense just wasn't really set up for success in the first quarter, especially with 2 shanked punt and in pick six, like you mentioned.
They're going to run a reverse with 2:28 to go in the fourth quarter. And again, we talked about Aquinas' schedule already. You look at what Blue Valley has got, and Aquinas kind of got the light end of the EKL schedule this season. Blue Valley, they did not. They go into a tough road matchup next week with Blue Valley North. They've got Rockhurst in 3 weeks in this building. They've got Miege on the road. They're going to go up the middle on this first down play. It's going to go nowhere to the 30-yard line. And then after Miege on October 11th, they've got a couple of tough games here against Mill Valley on the 18th. And then they take on sleeper Blue Valley West, the Jaguars, on the road October 25th to end the regular season. And I say sleeper because Chad Rader has snuck them into the 8-10 varsity top 40 at 38th in the city.
Yeah, the schedule for Blue Valley is pretty tough, especially if you look at Mill Valley and Blue Valley West, 2 teams that could possibly sneak up in the EKL. It's going to be a tough stretch here for Blue Valley.
Toss play going right side, picks up a couple of yards. And we talked about the Aquinas schedule. We'll revisit that right now. For Aquinas, I mean, granted, you're in the EKL, but not the EKL gauntlet. You don't have to touch Blue Valley North. You've got Blue Valley Southwest, Blue Valley Northwest the next couple of weeks. You take on Mill Valley on the road, but then you're back against that Blue Valley West team. You're home against St. James Academy. And they have to go to Miege this year. And, I mean, Miege is obviously the one you circle on the schedule, but other than that, I don't know that there are any real tests for this Aquinas team outside of that Miege game. There's another toss play to the right side. It's going to go for about 6 yards to the tailback freshman Jacob Bittner. He was the guy. He was the smart car analogy I made, 5'7", 134-pound freshman that got absolutely hammered by Mason Richmond earlier. So a little toughness back into this game. By the way, that run is going to wind us down in this ball game. 48-19 is going to be your final score. Aquinas put on a show in the first half, but for Blue Valley, again, we stressed it at halftime, Taylor. They needed to come out and play the second half like it was its own quarter, a new game, and they did that. They essentially won the second half, 19-6, and they're going to be able to build on that going forward. I mean, this is going to be a bad taste in their mouth regardless, but again, you've got to have a quick turnaround going on the road, taking on Blue Valley North next week. This was a big second half, I think, in preparing for the rest of the season and preparing for a tough road matchup next week.
Yeah, I think the second half, you didn't want to see, Coach Terrell didn't want to see his team quit. You know, you were down 41-0. You wanted to see kind of the character of his football team, and I think you saw a lot of character. You saw Jake Wolf start to get in a little bit of rhythm. You saw the defense really continue to compete. I think there's a lot of positivity in the film that they can go look at here in the second half that they can move forward to. Like you mentioned, it doesn't get any easier going to have on the road to play Blue Valley North next week. So they've got another tough task ahead of them next week.
Blake Anderson threw 3 touchdowns. He ran one in. Tank Young ran one in, caught one from 21 yards away. St. Thomas Aquinas, the defending 5A state champions. They run that win streak to 13 now, and they continue to hold a stranglehold on the #1 spot in the city. Thank you to Taylor Dameron for filling in for Jeremy Crabtree this week. Thank you to Gannon Cornley for running the camera, helping with some stats, and a special shout-out to that T-kid that really made my night. 48-19, Aquinas storms Blue Valley in the opener in Kansas. We throw it back to Chad Rader and Randy Withers in the studio for your post-game report on your Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week.
You've heard us talk about CBD, and here's your